Okay, guys, here I'm back. It is Tuesday, December the 9th, and I want to talk to you about how my trades went today, what stocks I selected to follow, and what was going on with it. So, to start, I chose SNTI. I chose XCUR. I chose VOR and ATMV. Okay, the last two on that list I decided not to go with. The first one, VOR, I decided not to go with that one, even though the price was 850, 857. It had 7 times the volume. I could play with 5 shares on that one. And I'm reading my notes. And it had 173 million in the float. So that's what made me not want to select that one, is that I felt like it was too big for my number to play around with. I don't want to get in a stock and can't get out. And sometimes that happens. Like you buy a stock and it's just sitting there, and you don't want that to happen. Okay. Well, I should say you don't want that to happen if you're a day trader, and I'm working on becoming a day trader. So, guys, my name is David Lucas, and here's the thing: if you're just now joining the channel, because I want to be able to stream this, but I've been having to record it and edit videos and put it in that way. Editing is a pain. And I am a YouTuber, so I know it's a pain. That's why I would rather stream this content, but I'm working on that. I will get around to that. The second one that I chose that I didn't go with had decent numbers. ATMV was going for 784. It had 10 times the normal volume of trading. I could play around with 6 shares of that, and it had an 8 million in the number for a float. That's still kind of high. I liked it to be around, for my number and my price range, I like it to be around 1 million, 2 million, maybe 3. Okay, but I like it to stay as low as possible. If it's lower than that, great. But that's what I want, because I want the stock to actually be moving. So, and I've had the situations where I bought stocks, felt great about it. When it was time to get out, then you couldn't get out because no one's buying at your price, and you're just stuck. And then you don't get out in time. You lose because you don't get out in time. By the time you get out, you've lost money. So I don't like being in that situation. It feels horrible. Okay, another one that was on a list, it was QCLS was on my wife's list. I looked at the numbers, didn't match my numbers at all for the day. I could play around with 4 shares of it. It was going about 850, going for about 850, but it had 27 million in the float. That was one part I didn't like. And then it also had it had an upside down relative volume. I didn't like that. It didn't have the type of volume I want. And when it's not moving, it's not moving. So I just scratched it off. I didn't want to deal with that. I looked at it later, and it was great that I went the way I went. Some of the numbers look horrible. Actually, guys, to be honest with you, when I first pulled up the screen today, the stock market looked horrible. Everything was down. Everything was red. So I knew I was kind of going into a battle. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you how my stocks worked out. So I was following closely. I decided to go with Senti, the SNTI. That's the one that was going for about 225. It had 100 times the volume. I could buy 20 shares, and it had a float of 27 million, which is way higher than I like. And that's probably why I was having so much problem with it, to be honest. I'm going to go back and look at that. So I didn't invest right away. I waited my typical about 15 minutes for the market kind of cool off, all the orders to kind of come in. I typically invest first thing in the morning. Well, when the market opened till about in an hour or two into that. I don't typically go back in the afternoon or anything like that. You can, I just typically don't do that. I try to stay between shares that are costing $2 and $20. I like to limit myself to that. And right now, I'm only investing between $40 and $50. You know, $50 if I feel really great about it, $40 if it's just so-so. And today, if you're wondering why my energy's counting down, and today, okay, so my first trade, it took forever before I saw an opportunity to get in because it was just so scattered. And I'll show you right now, I'll put up on the screen, I'm putting up on the screen now a screenshot of the whole day pretty much, at least up to this point, and this is probably half day, I'll say a half day. And so your time is probably about 11 or 12 o'clock. So I'm gonna put up that screen right there. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get in and see what happens on this. And the graphs was very sketchy. It wasn't what I typically go for, but I figured I'll get, 10 cent here, 10 cent there kind of a thing. I went in there and right away I went negative. I went negative of, no I didn't, sorry about that. I went in and it went down, okay? It went down and I held it. I was like, It didn't make sense that it was going down, it was reversing on me. I was like, okay. So I kept it for a minute and it came right back up. So I did a sell to break even. And I did, I sold it to break even. And then it went right back into the sketchiness of it. I didn't like any more of the trade. I just didn't like it. And then I decided I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna give it one more shot. I'm gonna give it one more shot. And I did, and I went in with about 20 shares. Again, I went in about 20 shares, and it went down. And it went down, and it went down, and it went down. And I was so disheartened. I was like, dang it, man. But it was just out of my control, and it just went down. So when all the numbers was because I started to stop. I was like, man, I should just probably stop for the day. Nothing's happening, nothing's good. I should have just called it a day, but I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna try it. So I was like, I'm just gonna give it a shot. And I invested in one of the worst times I could. I went into the trade. I'll put up a screen and I'll draw an arrow or something to it on the screen so you can see it. I went in at one of the worst possible times and it went down, 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 down. And I did not follow the rules. And so I could kick myself for that. But here's the thing, I know that was my fault because I was not reading the trend at all. I was just wanting to have a good, solid investment for the day. And the impatience of that got the best of me. So that's what I want to share, guys. This is when people say this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, guys, this is the ugly of day trading. The ugly part is really learning how to do it. And even though I'm paper trading still, I'm trading with money that's monopoly money. It's not real money, okay? But what I want you to understand is this. I'm training to win, not training to lose, and I'm not training to not care about my investment. I'm training to make the best possible investments or don't invest at all. And that's what I would encourage anyone to do. Whether you're experienced or non-experienced, have zero experience like me, trade to win no matter what. So I'm gonna quit there. That was my day for today. Hopefully I have a better week, but I'm gonna put this up so that you can see it. And guys, have a great day of trading. I want you to follow along with me as I learn to trade. I want you to learn to trade, and I want you to invest and learn how to invest. And I want you to take control of your money. That's what it's all about. Take control of your money. Don't let someone else do it for you. I really believe in that. Pretty soon, I'm going to put up some merchandise that you guys can sell, can buy if you like. It'll be for sale on YouTube. Also, I want you guys to put the word out. Put the word out on the street that, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm teaching myself how to trade. And people who want to teach themselves how to trade need and want to follow me. And I want you to send them a link and say, you need to be trading. Follow this guy because this guy is crazy about this and he's really going to get it. And I'm going to carry as many people along with me as possible. I'm serious about it. I'm going to get really, really good at this. But right now I'm an amateur and I want people to grow with me rather than be the millionaire who's got it all and then come back and try to get you to do it. No, I want you to come with me. You ever heard that story, the Chicken Little story? The chicken that wanted to bake some bread, nobody wanted to help out. They just wanted to eat the bread when the bread was cooked. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm not going to become a millionaire and then come back and help people. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be who I am right now, and I'm going to help people who want to come with me. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it the other way around. I'm working towards this, and I want you to work toward it with me. Okay? And if you believe in this channel, what I want you to do is I'm going to put some merchandise out there so that you can buy some merchandise. I'm going to put a GoFundMe out there so you can fund my investments and help me along the way. I'm going to put other things out there like go buy a coffee and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put everything on YouTube so that you can purchase. I'm going to put merchandise out there that you can purchase, that you feel good about. All that stuff, I'm going to do all that stuff. But right now, I'm just getting the nuts and bolts put together. And I want you to do this, and I want you to share this video with at least 1, 2, 3 people that you know should be investing and creating a retirement for themselves or creating a nest egg for their kids. Okay? We cannot depend on our government to do anything for us. We have to do it for ourselves. That's what I believe in my heart. And I want you to believe in it, and I want you to follow and stick with this channel. I'm going to keep posting these videos. Hopefully I can stream, but if I can't stream, I'm gonna just post these videos best I can, and we're gonna get this together. We're gonna get it together, okay? So anyway, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one.